Students, in this class, let's continue it from the last class, where we have studied about the characteristics of fungi and the reproduction in fungi. So in this class, we are going to discuss about the classification of fungi. Now, the classification of fungi, it is done in 4 major classes, and these 4 major classes are Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes and Deuteromycetes. The Phycomycetes, they are also called as algal fungi or lower fungi. Ascomycetes, that is called as sac fungi. Basidiomycetes, it is called as club fungi, and Deuteromycetes is also called as fungi imperfecti. So based on different characteristics, these fungal groups are made. So let's discuss what are the distinctive characteristics of the fungus which belongs to these classes. Phycomycetes, it is also called as lower fungi or algal fungi. This particular class, it is different from the other groups of fungi in the following characteristics. The mycelium is sinusoidal, that is multinucleated and aseptate. All the members of the class Phycomycetes such as Pibolus, Albugo, Rhizopus, etc., they have a sinusoidal mycelium. That means their hyphae are aseptate and they are multinucleate. That means many nuclei in a hyphae. That is the common feature of this class. The hyphal walls contain chitin or fungal cellulose. As we know that the fungal cell wall, it is made up of chitin or fungal cellulose. Here also this is the same. Then the third point to be kept in mind, it is about the asexual reproduction, where it takes place by means of non-motile sporangiospores or motile zoospores. So these two are the special asexual spores which takes part in the whole process of asexual reproduction, and it gives rise to diploid mycelium. The fourth point, it is the nutrition is of parasitic or saprophytic types. Parasitic, that means what? That they are causing harm to the other organisms, either that is the animal or plant. And such a type of parasitic fungi in the Phycomycetes class are the Albugo and Phytophthora. Both are reported to have disease-causing capability in case of plants. And saprophytic nature, that means that they have their nutrition from the dead and decaying organic matter. And such type of fungi in case of Phycomycetes are Pilobolus, Rhizopus and Mucor. So from this tree, the Rhizopus, that is quite common in case of the food saprophytes. And the last is the sexual reproduction is of gametangial contact or gametangial copulation. We know that in case of sexual reproduction, gametangia are produced where it produces gametes, whether that is the male gamete or the female gamete. So here in case of them, the male gamete and the female gamete, they gets fused within the gametangia, and such type of fusion, it is called this gametangial contact or gametangial copulation, which results to the formation of the diploid zygospore from the haploid gametic cells. Now let's go through some examples of Phycomycetes. So this is Albugo species. The white patches that you have seen over the leaves, so these are the albugo which infects the crucifers. This is Phytophthora, which is generally seen over the potato leaves. These are mucor. They are generally found to cause diseases in case of plants. So this is the mucor again. So they are filamentous fungi, as you can see, and this is the most common rhizopus species which generally grows over bread and lemon. This is the diagrammatic view of a common Phycomycetes, that is the rhizopus, where you can see the hyphae which are sinusoidal in nature, and they develops the sporangium which possesses the sporangiospore or the zoospores just at the tip of the hyphae, where they forms a special structure which we call it to be the sporangium. So the hyphae, they are unbranched, that we can see here. So this is how all the fungi of the class Phycomycetes will look when we have a microscopic view. So I hope that you have got a little idea about the class Phycomycetes. Now let's go to the next class, which is called as Ascomycetes. Ascomycetes, also known as sac fungi. It is called the sac fungi because they form some bag-like structures, and therefore they have been named as sac fungi. So this is the largest group of all the fungi, which bears about 30,000 species, and they have a diverse forms. Now let's come to the diagnostic features of this particular class. The first difference that we can see here is that the mycelium consists of septate hyphae. So here all the hyphae, they are septate, so therefore we get the septate mycelium, except one member, that is yeast. Yeast, its scientific name is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is a unicellular one. The second point is the septa is simple type, which consists of perforation for interconnection of cellular matter. So in the diagram you can see two ingrowths from the inner part of the wall, that is the cell membrane. So cell membrane, it grows inward and it develops a cross wall in between the cell, and it possesses a simple pore just in the middle of the cell, and that leads to the formation of a perforation from where there is intercellular connection between the hyphae. Then the next point is that the sexual reproduction occurs by budding and fission in case of yeast, and for the other filamentous septate forms, they undergoes asexual formation, spore formation, such as conidia, arthrospore, etc. So here also the formation of asexual spores, that is prominent here. Then next comes the sexual reproduction. It takes place by gametangial copulation. So that we have already discussed, that male gametangia and female gametangia, they fuse with each other and it forms a special spore which is called as ascospore. The ascospores are haploid spores which are formed by the gametic fusion, and it results to a cell which is called as ascus mother cell. And this ascus mother cell, it undergoes meiosis to form 4 ascospore, and those 4 ascospore, it again undergoes mitotic cell division to form 8 ascospores, and this is wholly formed within a structure which is called as ascocarp. So ascospores, these are sexual spores, whereas the conidia, arthrospore, they are asexual spores in case of Ascomycetes. Now let's come to the examples of ascomycetes. This is Aspergillus, where the microscopic view and the cultured view of Aspergillus, it is shown here, which is a sac fungi. The next is Claviceps purpurea, which is found to cause disease in case of rye plant, which is called as argot of rye. So the blackest part, that is the purpurea. Then this is the most commonest is edible fungi, which is called as Morchella. Then next comes the truffles or the tuber fungus, which is also edible fungi from this class. Then this is the cultured picture of penicillium, which is a very common fungi for yielding an antibiotic. In this picture is the formation of conidia over the conidiophore, which is seen in case of this class Ascomycetes. The next important class of fungi is Basidiomycetes. It is also called as club fungi or bracket fungi. This particular class, it is one of the most advanced group of fungi, and it have many members of diverse origin. Generally, this fungi, it is known for forming fruiting bodies, which is also called as basidiocarp. That means club shape structure, and that is why the common name it is called as club fungi. Now let's come to its characteristic. The myceliums are septate, that means they have the septa in between the filamentous structures, which can be monokaryotic or dikaryotic. Monokaryotic means it contains only one nucleus, and dikaryotic it means it contains two nucleus but of different genetic constitution. And as said, they forms fruiting bodies. The meaning of fruiting bodies means that they have spore forming structures which are in aggregate form, and therefore it is called as fruiting bodies, and these fruiting bodies are called as basidiocarps because they are of club shaped structure. The next is the formation of dolipore septum. As we know that the septa is present. Now septa, it can be of dolipore type. Dolipore, that means the inner ingrowth of the cell membrane, it takes a jar shaped pattern or dumbbell shaped pattern, and therefore the name is called as dolipore. Dolipore, it has come from the word dolium, which means large jar. And from the two sides, as two ingrowths come, and that becomes bell-shaped structure, therefore the term it is given as dolipore septum. The next point, it is asexual reproduction takes place by oidia. So in the last class we have discussed about what are oidia. So they are generally the tip part of the hyphae which develops into spore, or that can be conidia. So that we have already discussed, and or it can be pycnospore. So pycnospore, this is another asexual spore. Then the next point, it is that the sexual reproduction takes place by the formation of fruiting bodies called basidiocarp, which bears numerous basidia. So these are again the specialized cells which is called as the basidia, which is formed inside the basidiocarp, and this basidia produces 4 basidiospore exogenously, that means towards the outer side. And another important feature here is the formation of clamp connection that is found near the septa. So in the diagram you have seen that how this clamp connections it is formed. Or here we can very simply understand them that it forms some hook towards the outer side of their body, and these hooks, they are very much useful during the genetic recombination between the dikaryotic myceliums, and therefore this type of connections that also leads to sexual reproduction but without the formation of any kind of gametangia, and such type it is called the somatogamy or spermatization. So these are important points from the class Basidiomycetes. Now examples of Basidiomycetes class. So these are most commonly the agaricus that we can find nearby us. So these are the common mushrooms. These are the colored one, mostly the poisonous one. This is the polyporous species. Here this is the disease causing Puccinia and Astilago. Now this is the another important class which is also called as fungi imperfecti, is the Deuteromycetes. So here the important characteristics are that the mycelium is septate and branched. The septa, it is simple type and cells are multinucleated. Then asexual reproduction takes place by the formation of conidia, oidia, chlamydospore, etc. And the most important one is that the sexual reproduction is not reported. Hence, the class is known as fungi imperfecti. Now, in case of this particular class, the steps of sexual reproduction, that is plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis, it doesn't get completed as reported till now. The such steps, these are not reported in this particular class, and hence sexual reproduction is generally found to be absent in case of the members of Deuteromycetes, and they generally reproduce by means of conidia, oidia, chlamydospore or fragmentation, etc. And therefore this particular class, it is termed as fungi imperfecti. Now some examples of fungi imperfecti are the disease causing fungus in case of potato, which is Alternaria solani. So this is one of the member from Deuteromycetes. So this is the disease causing leaf. Now this is Coletotrichum, which is found to cause disease in case of sugarcane, which is called as rot of sugarcane. Now this is Fusarium, and this Fusarium, it causes the wilting of the plants of brinjal, tomato, etc. Next comes the economic importance of fungi. We know that the type of nutrition in case of fungi is both saprophytic and parasitic. On the basis of their saprophytic and the parasitic nature, we find two types of economic importance. One is the beneficial uses and another one is the harmful uses. So let's discuss the beneficial uses at first. The beneficial role of fungi are, number one is role in industry. Here industry, it is generally the food industry. So we know that in case of bakeries or restaurants, they use many products where fermenting agent is required, and one of the important fermenting agent is yeast, the unicellular yeast, whose name is also known as Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So this is of great importance for the food industry. The next is the use as food. As food, some species of fungus such as Morcella, truffles, and some forms of mushrooms, which are very good source of nutrients and vitamins in our body, or in case of other animals. So this is also of great importance in case of food. The next is again used in genetic research. A very common species which is Neurospora. It was used by scientists Biddle and Tatum for their experiment of one gene, one enzyme theory. And therefore, Neurospora has become a very important material in genetic research centers. Then, last one is the production of antibiotics. Now we know that the antibiotic named as penicillin, it is synthesized from a fungus whose name is Penicillium notatum. Therefore, These fungus, they are also used for the production of antibiotics for healing our diseases. So these are some beneficial roles in case of fungi. Now let's come to the harmful roles. The harmful activity of the fungi is due to the parasitic mode of nutrition that they have. And some of the diseases of plants due to fungal attack are Claviceps purpurea, this causes ergot of rye, Puccinia graminis, this causes black rust of wheat, Astilago tritici, it causes loose mart of wheat, Phytophthora infestans, it causes late blight of potato, Alternaria solani, it causes early blight of potato, Albugo candida, it causes white rust of cruciferous. So you can have a view of these diseases in the earlier shared photographs during this class. Now let's come to some animal diseases. Some of the common animal diseases caused by fungus are aspergillosis, which is caused by the fungus Aspergillus fumigatus. Then comes skin diseases in human, which is generally because of fungus named Candida. Then comes another disease which is called as bronchomycosis, and this is because of a fungus which is named as Mucorpucillus. So these are some harmful effects of both plants and animals. So today in this class we have discussed about the classification system which consists of the 4 classes and about the economic importance of fungi. So with this we finish the kingdom fungi here. Thank you.